Looks like we are live. Just throwing out the link on the social medias to let people know. So bear with me. And as always, if I sound all right, if you can hear me, make sure you hit that. Give me the number 1 in the chat box here. Good, Ivan, thank you. All right, people, no. Let me get this taken care of over here. All right, I think we are, 0 likes? This is a first. Usually the past few, we've had a couple likes before I've even started. Granted, I guess I'm a little early. So as always, if you've been here before and you know that you're going to like, make sure you hit that like button. If you're brand new, first off, welcome. Great to have you. No need to hit the like button because I understand you may not like what you have to see here. But if, like I said, if you've been here before and you know you're going to like, make sure to hit that like button. Kelvin, I bought a prop from like you said yesterday. I went to take Profit Trader. Awesome, Kelvin. Have you made any trades yet? Today was a wild day. Up 1K first. You mean during your test phase, Kelvin? I love when members of the community are tagging me in the chat room when they know that I'm live. All right, there we go, up to 7 likes. Very good. I'm keeping an eye on this level right now. We're looking at the MNQ here, but of course you could apply this to the NQ too if you really wanted to. But that level right there, is that going to be some kind of resistance? Can it break up through there? I mean, a bunch of beautiful trades today as far as, nice trend line breakdown there, nice trend line breakdown there. Doesn't get a huge amount, but still, that was over 20 points. But yeah, now I'm wondering about this area right here. Can the price break up through that area? That is the question right now. I started with sell ask at 6 a.m. this morning, and yes, okay, all right. I started with, okay, so you started shorting then, Calvin, is what you're saying. Rising wedge forming on the NQ. What time frame are you looking at? I am app 11. So yeah, we're definitely looking at essentially so we have the resistance here that I mapped out. We have this upper area, and then we have this upwards move right here. So in the very near term, for you golfers, put the golfo down here. So looking at a bull pennant right now. Just really a question of if you believe in the bull pennant, if you think that this right here is the bottoming out phase, then yeah, I could see thinking, hey, if it breaks, can it get moving? So bull pennant right now, it's 11:16 where you're at. Yep, so you're in Eastern time, would be my guess. So that's what I think a lot of people are watching the market right now on this one is that bull pennant. I'll draw it again so we don't have. So there's the resistance. There's the upper line. And then there is the upwards move. And then just because I can't help myself, got to put the golfle. There we go. There's the bull pennant that people are probably watching right now. Oh, 5 minute? Let me pull up the 5 minute here. On my other monitor, we'll take a look at the 5 minute. Yeah, I guess I can. Yeah, I guess I can see what you're getting at. I don't know if that's the cleanest rising wedge, but I wouldn't call you crazy. So I don't know. Anybody long for this one, or are anybody looking to play the break of that? What are people's thoughts on this bull pennant? That's the current setup. Whether or not how you play it, if you play it, but that's definitely what you gotta think. A lot of people are watching right now. Okay, can you show if you use the open, high, low, or close for the moving average? It will show you. I use the default settings, Mohammed. The close. I use the close, Mohammed. Knocking on the door. Can it get up through there? We're watching. Bull pennant in play right now. Can it push through? I'm sure there's some shorts up here that are getting short. They're thinking, no, I think it's going to get rejected back down. I think it's going to fail to the downside. Right now, at this exact moment in time, looking like the shorts are maybe correct. But once again, rejected right at that level. Essentially what is that, about 317? We'll just call it 318 level. Power of charts. A lot of people got to think are watching this pattern. So do we get some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy? We will see. But it is, and it's still an overall downtrend. So is this trend line right here like the new one of these? Where it broke and then eventually went down, broke, went down some more. We shall see. So I'm sure some people are wanting to take this short on the break. Others are thinking, I want to get long on the breakout. Maybe other people are just long already, just anticipating the breakout. I'll do a short once it kisses the top line of the flag. Then I'll buy a bid if it shoots past. All right. Sounds like Kelvin's got himself a trade plan. We're going for 110 likes again minimum. So if you've been here before and you know that you're going to like this, friendly reminder, hit that like button. If you've never been here before, welcome. Great to have you. No need to hit the like button because I understand you may not like it. All right, here we go. Doing battle once again. Doing battle once again with the top part of this bull pennant pattern. App Lovin is the SOH order. Very good. Sit on those hands. ME, get ready, bro. It'll come get you. They make, what's going to come get you? I don't know what's going to come get you. I don't know what you mean by that. I hope you don't mean like the algorithms or market makers or something like that, but I don't know. I don't know who's going to come get you, but somebody's going to come get you. Joseph, good morning. All right. Still just hesitating right below this area. Does it break? Does it break? No guarantees as always, but I don't think if you were to tell me, Clay, I think if it breaks, it's got a chance to come up here to that dotted brown line, which is the pivot point. I would not call you crazy. Again, doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's why risk management is the pinnacle of what you need to be doing. But I can see that. I can see it. All right. It is pushed through. Now let's see. Can it get some follow through? Uh-oh. Oh, don't do the longs dirty like that. Don't do the longs dirty like that. Don't do the longs dirty like that. And maybe even the shorts dirty too, right? Did some shorts just get stopped out there to only have them go right in their favor? But to be fair, if the shorts gave themselves a little bit more wiggle room, I mean, the shorts could be feeling good about things right now. But it's still above that trend line right there. So I wouldn't abandon ship yet. But that's, as of right now, that's looking like a pretty dirty dog move to the longs that were trying to play that breakout. Pretty dirty dog move, but it's still honoring the 21 EMA, which is that green line there. It's still honoring our overall uptrending trend line there. It's still up above the 50 period moving average. So yes, annoying, but I don't know if the chart's anything, I don't know if I'd say it's done anything wrong. Now, yes, it's done something wrong in just being annoying by not breaking out and continuing to boom. But has it done anything wrong in terms of like busting down through a bunch of supports? It hasn't. And just like that, it's trying to head back up. So that's got to have the longs feeling a little bit better now at this point. We'll see, though. It's hanging in there. It's anyway, look at it. Even if the long does ultimately make money on it, it's not been a smooth ride. Assuming, of course, the longs bought on that initial break right there that we just watched. It has not been a smooth ride. But, you know, there's shorts out there. The sharks are circling. Sharks are circling. And like I said, if you were a short and you came up to me and said, Clay, I want to short that line, I'd say, hey, no guarantees. I hope you're managing risk, but I see the logic. I see the logic. I would, that to me, that's not a crazy idea at all. All right, now on the bottom part. Jim is going to get short. You're already short, Jim, or you're shorting the break? Jim probably can't talk right now because he's probably trying to manage the trade. Well, there's the break. Now, or is this going to be one of these where it's a dirty dog to both longs and shorts? But right there, yeah, I could see shorts getting knocked out. Trying to short the break. All right, well, we'll see if Jim and anybody else can get some continuation through here. I need to readjust my, because this is an independent annotation tool. So, oh, well, now you're getting that nasty bounce back upwards. You know, maybe I could just make my life easier, right? Why don't I just draw the actual trend line right there? There we go. So got to get some separation below the 50-period moving average. That purple line there, that's probably the last hope of the bulls. Maybe the last hope is down here at 83. If 83 breaks, you got to think that all the longs have now waved their white flag. Those that are trying to play the breakout are like, I'm done with you. They're all irritated and upset. So they're getting out. I would think some stop losses are probably hiding down here also. So I think this 2281-ish area. If that fails, I could see that generating some more downside pressure. But yeah, right now that purple line here, the longs are, that's kind of the last hope. Shorts are very irritated by that level. But yeah, that crosshair is representing the area that if it can break through there, I could see it. Kelvin is bidding. Okay. Kelvin is, we got Jim who's short, or I think he's short. We got Kelvin trying to bid. Which 50-period moving average are you using? The simple. Yeah, the SMA, yes. Correct. The green line there, though, is the 21E. E as in elephant, EMA. All right, shorts. Can you break the spirits of the longs officially? I think that's where the crosshair is right now. I think that is the point where the long spirits are kind of still hanging in there. Oh, there's the break, and there it is. Just like that, spike down. Jim, are you still short, my friend? Are you still short? What do you mean you're out? How are you out? By the way, Jim is like a real life friend. Like I know him like face to face. We've hung out. He's newer to the game, doing well. As a new person, I was like, listen, as a brand new person, this is what you're doing. You're going to trade futures, and you're going to do so through a prop firm because of Pam's plant. So he's a believer in Pam's plant. Jim. Come on, man. Please give me a signal so I can grow my $10 account. You're going to need more $10. No, the best way to grow a $10 account is ticker symbol JOB. This is how you grow a $10 trading account right here. Ticker symbol JOB. That is going to be the guaranteed way to grow your $10 account right there. There is no more powerful ticker symbol out there than JOB. So that is how you do that. That is my signal to you. Signal JOB. Hey, Rocky, there you, Rocky Mountain Guard. You still got your alarm set for tomorrow? Well, congratulations to everybody that took that short. Unfortunately, anybody that tried to play that breakout there, yeah, it happens. It happens. I've been there before. I was not a big fan of that just because, again, from the general chart perspective, let me bring over the 5-minute. It does a better job. Whoops. General chart perspective, 5-minute here. I mean, it's still just very much so in an overall downtrend. Yeah, this is a bit of a bounce, but if anything, and this is what I am AppLovin. Are you still here, AppLovin? I apologize. You asked about that rising wedge, and I was looking at the 15-minute time frame. I thought I was looking at the 5, but I was looking at the 15. But yeah, so the AppLovin point, we had that movement right there. We had that, and yeah, absolutely right. There's a rising wedge for sure. So yeah, I apologize. You nailed that 5-minute time frame. Absolutely, like I said, I was accidentally clicked over on the antenna. But so yes, from the bigger picture, pretty much what we've had here is a overall bear pennant. And the bear pennant, what we're witnessing and what kind of talked us through was just simply a breakdown of the bear pennant on the 5-minute. So now it's just a question of, is this going to get more continuation to the downside? That is the big question mark right now. Jim took himself out of the trade way too soon, Jim. Way too soon. But yes, so the reason being why I didn't like that bull pennant, thinking, you know, from a breakout standpoint, was just because the overall trend, the overall flow of things was still in the downwards direction. But also, to be fair, sometimes those can be very explosive, because if it is a genuine bottom, then you can get some good upside pressure. But just the overall trend had me a little skeptical on it. Anybody else, what amount would you recommend I fund to make a good amount? Well, I would recommend you... Well, Kelvin, you said you were bidding. So did you buy, Kelvin? Hopefully, if you did buy, you stopped up very quickly. If Google does not break, it will not pass VWAP. Okay, this Ivan, this is not Google. We're looking at futures right now. I want to try to hit the 9,000 in the first day. I think I can. Well, no, you're not allowed to hit 9,000 the first day, Kelvin, because... Did you read the rules that they sent you, Kelvin? There is the 50% consistency rule. So you're only allowed to make 50% of your target in a single day. So the most you're allowed to make during the test phase is $4,500. What amount would be good? Well, assuming you know what you're doing, I would recommend doing futures through a prop firm, because there's no pattern day trader rule in futures. And I would recommend, hey, you're going to need at least $105, because $105 gives you access to $25,000 in purchasing power. So that would be the minimum that you would need to get involved in trading, I would say, in a meaningful way. Because, yeah, you can go out there and like buy $100 worth of stocks, but, you know, if you buy $100 of a dollar, sure, you can buy 100 shares, but now you need that thing. Even if it just doubles up to 100%, then, I mean, you still only made $100. But with the prop firms through futures, I think this is a better way to give yourself a more of a chance to grow, because if you can pass the test, then after you pass the test, you move. So here's the test phase. You pass. You go into the Pro account or the Pro Plus account, and then you can have a whole lot of upside potential. And again, your only amount that you're putting up of your own money would be the 105. So that's what I would say the best way to go if you have a minimal. No, you have to, the test phase goes for at least 5 days, Kelvin, with Take Profit Trader. Now, if you do pass it in 2 days, then the rest 3 days, you'll just want to go and buy and sell something very quickly so you can log a trade. So yes, it is theoretically, you could pass it in 2 days. That is true. But after that, you'll still need to have 3 days where, again, you'd find like a micro and then just click buy, sell real quick. Just so, I mean, you'll either like make a buck or lose a buck, but at least you have a trade logged for the day. So you'd have to do that for 3 days. Ivan, I think I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. MACD is at a crossover, but I think you're talking about Google. Are you talking about Google right now, Ivan? Because this is not Google. I repeat, we are not looking at the Google chart right now. All right, well, you know, for those of you that have been here, big fans of the back test and go. So can this come up here and back test this trend line? So this was the breakout point. Can we come up here, back test this area? And if so, does that area now act as resistance and reject it back down? That is a plausible trade plan. I guess, to be fair, maybe some people are like, nah, I'm not going to wait for the trend line. I want to use these moving averages. You know, that's another way you could probably approach it. But just strictly from the back test and go, if that trend line there was our basis for the breakdown, then that would technically be the back test area. So yeah, this thing would need to come up a little bit more, and then potentially, does it get rejected back down from the short side? A valid thought process to have, something to keep an eye on. Okay, Ivan, Google, let me ask this. Ivan, are you a day trader? Are you a day trader? I might put a trade on here just for fun. So very minimal risk because I'm kind of done for the day. But yeah, why not? 1 MQ. I'm in. Stop up there. So yeah, well, let's see if this thing wants to get rejected back down. If not, it'll be about a $22 loss. I can take that. But I'm going to get my answer really quick, which is how I prefer it. I don't really feel like sitting here. But yeah, if this thing wants to come back down, great. If not, I'll take a loss on it, and it's no big deal as far as my overall day is concerned. Coming back. Okay, Ivan, can you hear me? Let's start there. Ivan, can you hear me? I'm asking you questions and you keep talking about something that is completely irrelevant to what we're looking at right now. But let's start there. I don't know if Ivan can hear me. Or are you just some sort of bot that's like been programmed to talk about Google? All right, how am I not stopped out? Can you just stop me out? Come on. Either stop me out or come back down. How am I not stopped out? That's crazy. There we go. Okay. So can Ivan hear me? Oh, see? Comes up there, stops me out. You dirty dog. Okay, Ivan, I don't know what's going on with Ivan. We'll move on from Ivan. Yeah, it's definitely getting hung up in these moving averages. Okay, Ivan, this is your last warning. Either can you tell me, can you hear me, or I'm just gonna ban you. Because you keep talking about stuff that is literally irrelevant right now. You keep talking about Google. This is not Google. And I'm trying to ask you questions and you're not replying. You just keep like at this point. Are you some sort of like AI algorithm sent back from the future? Are you like the Terminator? Can you hear me, Ivan? I like turtles. I like the Ninja Turtles. I like the Ninja Turtles. Ugh. Came up, knocked me out, and now it's starting to come back down. Oh, well. Oh, I should move over to my Putts Around account. All right, let me move over to the other account. The other nice thing with prop firms is you can have multiple accounts, so there we go. We'll putz around with this one some. I don't know. Is it time to get short here? For this to head down here? Maybe right there? I don't know. I suppose I can get rid of these lines here as they serve their purpose for now. That one. Okay, yeah, I think Ivan is like a piece of AI technology. I mean, yeah, I'm thinking, do I get short here and I just put my stop up above those highs? And again, this thing's either going to roll over or it's going to come up and knock me out. What's my risk if that's here? 86 up to 96, so a little over 10 points. I mean, this is trying to go. We'll go with. Okay, I'm in with 3 micros. So let's see if this thing does want to come down or not. Very simple premise. This is either a dead cat bounce and it's going to roll back over, or it's got some more strength behind it. It's going to push back up, take me out up there. So nothing fancy, basic premise. And we'll see what it wants to do. I'll try to get one off down there at that green line. And then, because I have 3, so I'll look to take one off down here. And if I can get that taken off, then I will start to move down my stop. I'm from India. Can I do this? Yes, you can actually. That's the other nice thing about the prop firm that I'm using here is they are open internationally, and India, they are open. So, yeah, if you just use this link right here, then in India, you could totally do what you're seeing right here. Come on down some more. All right, I took that one off, and I will just now put my stop loss. So I want to make this a winning trade. So there we go. My stop loss is now in front of my entry. So this will be a winning trade. If this wants to continue to bleed, I will move my stop loss down as it goes. But even if it comes back up and stops me out, this will be a winning trade regardless. But yeah, let's see this thing plunge. I don't like the hesitation. It seems like, it should be coming down a little bit more, which is why I ultimately just took that one out before my price target was hit. Just because, like I said, you can see it here. It's just kind of not moving. There we go. A little bit more. So I'll move my stop loss down a little bit more. Come on. Just release. Go. There we go. Move it down a little bit more. If it does want to all of a sudden move down there, I'll take another one off right there. If not, I'll just stop out of 2 of them right there. But yeah, would love to see this thing just boom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't hammer on me. I don't like hammers. Get that hammer out of here. Come back down. Small caps. Okay, Ivan, so you can hear me. Can we confirm that you can hear me? And then my next question is, are you a day trader? Because if so, I'm going to show you why you're wasting your time and capital day trading Google. Okay, Ivan, you are wasting your time day trading Google. You're not using your capital efficiently at all. And stopped out there. All right, so there we go. That one worked out just fine. If you're enjoying, hit that like button. Okay, so Ivan, you are talking about Google. Okay. So this move here, let's just look at it the 5 minute. So right here, we had a move from like, let's just call it 172 down to 171. So you had a pretty big drop, right? From here all the way down to there, we'll call it about, or let's just make it even more crazy. From here, we'll call it 172 down to right there, we'll call it 170. So right here, this was a $2 drop, okay? Pretty big move. That would have been considered a really nice trade. Well, how much money is required for you to be able to take advantage of this trade? Well, pulling out our trusty calculator here, just to make sure we can all stay on the same page. So in order, and let's just say, to keep the math easy, let's say you wanted 100 shares. Well, at 170, if that's what one share costs and you want 100 of them, you need $17,000. Well, that's still kind of crazy. Let's just call it 50 shares. All right. So you only want 50 shares, and we just said each one of those costs 170. You need $8,500. Okay, and then let's just say you played this perfectly. It went down, and you nailed it. $2 per share. Well, we just said that you made $50, or that you had 50 shares, and that you just made $2 per share. That means you made $100 on this big old move down, but it required $8,500. Okay, $8,500 for this big old move down. Now let's hop over to what we're watching here and talk about the world of futures. So in futures, what you have, get rid of all this, is, and I'm not even going to make as big of a move, but let's just say this move right here, from this point up to this point, okay? Just small little movement. That distance, if you look at these numbers, from 0 or 20,300 up to 20,320, hopefully we can agree that's 20 difference. Now in the world of futures, things are categorized by points. They don't move in dollars cents, they move in points. So this movement here was points, and one function of futures is the NQ, and 1 point is worth $20, okay? So 1 point means you're making $20. And we just said that this small little distance here was worth 20 points. So once again, pulling out our calculator, Ivan, if 1 point is worth $20, and then that movement right there was 20 points, and this is just if you bought one contract, because in futures you buy contracts, not shares. But one contract right here, you would have had the opportunity in that small little distance for $400. Now, to be fair, Ivan, right now you could be saying, yeah, but wait a second. How much money does it cost for all of this? Because for Google, we know that you need to have at least $8,500 to make that, that $100 that we just saw. And, well, how much does it cost in futures to get involved in something like this? And this is where prop firms come into play, and prop firms are so powerful because you could have gotten that one contract. You could have gotten yourself the opportunity at that $400 for one. That's what you would need out of your wallet, $105. How much did you need out of your wallet for Google to make that $100? You needed $8,500. For this one, you would have needed $105. And all that was for that one contract. But this amount would have actually allowed you to buy up to 3 of those contracts. So that $400, you could have multiplied by 3, and that could have been worth $1,200 to you. So that is what I mean by you are wasting your time trading, day trading stocks. Absolutely waste your time. It makes no sense from a capital perspective. No sense at all. Because again, we were assuming a best case. We were assuming that you nailed the top from the short side and then you covered down here. And that's a $2 move and you still walked away with $50. But even if we said 100 shares, so if you required $17,000, that's still $200. Really, $17,000 for $200. Makes no sense, Ivan, my friend. Makes no sense to be day trading stocks. No sense at all. Oh, and it continued to roll back over. Does that make sense, Ivan? Just YOLO and GameStop. Again, GameStop is a stop. Total waste of your capital. Waste of your capital, waste of your time. Pam's Plant is where it's at. You're not buying 3 contracts on a 25,000 account, especially on NQ. No, you're probably not. But my point here is just the capital required. Prop saved me from losing 10K this month. Oh, yeah. Yep. I believe that case. Not because I think you're a bad trader, but just the general premise. You have so much little of your money at risk that, yeah, if you do something really stupid and ridiculous, yeah, you fail the test. They take the account away from you, to which I should note you can always get another account. But, yeah. Instead of losing 10,000 of your own money, it's a very, very minimal amount. Well, right now, the big question becomes, do we get the double bottom? That's what everybody and their brother's uncle has got to be thinking right now. We have the low there. Does this come down and does it double bottom? Maybe we should take a poll in here. What are people's thoughts? Now, of course, first off, it's got to drift down in there, but if it does, will it double bottom? That is 5 candles red short. Okay, Ivan, again, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm just E step in front of you. I'm just 1 step in front of... Oh, you're learning futures. Okay, good. I'm glad you're learning futures, Ivan. I'm not sure what you mean by you're 1 step ahead. Again, could we get this up to 50 likes before... Oh, I guess it's already 30 minutes. But if you are enjoying, hit that like button. Our goal is, again, 110 likes within the 2 hours, because I'm going to go for at least 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer. We'll see. But if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. And right now, yeah, we've taken a trade. It was a nice short, rolled over. And then this hammer right there got, I guess not, well, no, it wasn't the hammer. That move was kind of rough. Now, granted, in hindsight, I should have just used the moving average as my stop, and I would have survived that. But yeah, that movement right there, that probably knocked out quite a few shorts, but... Or buy 5,000 into GameStop and wait till it moons to 500 per share. JDA, are you trolling, or are you one of these guys that still believes in all this short squeeze nonsense from 4 years ago with GME? So are you trolling and just saying that as a joke on what people used to believe? Okay, so you still think GME is going to 500. So you're one of these guys that thinks there's a short squeeze coming? Is that you, JDA? I got 30K in GameStop at 34. Well, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money, man. You could be trading so much more. And yeah, if you think GameStop's no, I'll take this back. GameStop could go to 500 per share. I could see them doing a big reverse split. So I could see GameStop getting up to $500 with a reverse split. Do you know what a reverse split is, JDA? No reverse split? Uh-huh. JDA, another follow-up question. Are you one of these people, just $500 per share, are you one of these people that thought AMC was going to 100,000? Yeah, I didn't know that people still existed that were I thought everybody realized yeah, the pumpers fooled you. You drank the Kool-Aid. You got burned. Hey, welcome to the club. I've been burned by Kool-Aid. It was a long time ago, so I've been there. Well, why did you sell it at 60? You said it was going to 500, JDA. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, good job getting it at 8. But why did you sell at 60 if it's going to 500? Because they stopped the buy button's been in play for a long time. They stopped the buy button, and not even everybody stopped the buy button. They stopped it for like a couple of days. That's excuse denied. He's very hopeful because he owns it. He doesn't want to believe it. Well, no, he's drunk on Kool-Aid. If that's why I asked if he was trolling or like. But if he seriously thinks that it's going to 500, we call that being drunk on the Kool-Aid. And I've been there, so I don't say it judgmental. I once thought I was going to get rich on a stainless steel penny stock. So like I am king moron. I am king stupid. I was already up. Trend stopped. Why do you care about the trend if it's going to 500? Isn't that the trend? If you say 500, then you should be just like, okay, well, that's going to be the ultimate trend up to 500. Might be looking at a continuation if we break through the 15, 30-minute candle closes below 220s. Yeah, I could see that. But here we go, entering potential double bottom. What do people think? Is it going to double bottom? No. JDA, please listen. I asked, are you one of the people that thought AMC was going to $100,000? There is a group of people, the apes, as they call themselves, that became a cult, a literal cult. A bunch of people drunk on Kool-Aid. They joined a cult. They all called themselves apes, and they thought it was going to $100,000. Were you one of these apes? Did you think it was going to $100,000? I'm not good enough to trade futures. Pickles, that's all the reason to trade futures with a prop firm. So if you're not good enough, that just means you have more learning to do. But you believe in the movement. Okay. Well, I'm glad you were not one of the... I'm glad you were not somebody that genuinely thought AMC was going to $100,000 a share. So it could be worse, JDA. Could be worse. And there is no movement, by the way. Those people created a movement to justify themselves holding a bag because they didn't want to sell and admit they were wrong. So they conceived this movement to collectively put their minds at ease that that red that they saw getting bigger and bigger was okay because I'm a knight in shining armor. I'm a warrior for justice. No, that we call that a coping mechanism. That's all that was. There's no movement. It was a coping mechanism that a bunch of people got together that didn't want to admit they got fooled. So it was a team. We're here for the team. No, everybody was there to make money. They just didn't want to admit that they got fooled and were losing money. So then they created this coping mechanism. I know. Oh, I'm good. Thank you for watching my videos 5 years ago. That's great. Okay, here comes the double bottom. But you're not talking candlestick patterns. You're just saying it's going to 500. I don't know where this 500 came from, but you're saying 500. So you're a fundamental. You believe in some sort of fundamental aspect of it. So candlesticks mean nothing to you when it comes to GME. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. GME, you don't care about candlesticks. There is not a pattern right now on GME that suggests it's going to $500. You are doing it based on some sort of fundamental. I would say based on some sort of Kool-Aid. But yes, if you think GME is going to $500, I have some oceanfront property in Iowa that I will sell you for a very good deal. Very good deal. All right. Is anybody going long here? Anybody thinking double bottom? Here it goes. Moment of truth and justice. All right. As of now, pushing down through there. It don't care about no double bottom. It don't care. We do have a pivot point down there at that dotted. You went short there, Mark? You shorted the double bottom? Woo. You are gutsy. All right, we're at the pivot point. I think you're crazy if you're getting short down here. I think you're absolutely a madman or madwoman. I think anybody that went short at that low right there, you are nuts. To short a very legitimate potential double bottom spot, nutso. I mean, I'm glad it worked out for you. Don't get me wrong, but I would have never. No, you were nuts. You chased the short into a double bottom, or I should say into a potential double bottom spot. You're crazy. You're crazy. I think a little FOMO got in your veins. That's what I think. Again, I'm glad it worked out. I don't know if that was the best habit, though, that it reinforced. To chase a short into a potential double bottom spot. I get it. I look really stupid here. That's fine. I'm just saying that I don't know if that is the best habit to be forming. No, Mark, you're definitely the crazy one. In no way, shape, or form are you going to tell me that when this move started here and you waited for it to get all the way down there to go short at the double bottom spot, that was a good trade, or that I'm the crazy one for not doing that. You're not going to convince me of that. No way. And that's a hill I'm willing to die on right there. I'm glad it worked out for people, but whew. Oh, you didn't even trade it. I thought you were being serious. It's not a double bottom if it hasn't closed. Yeah, you're right. To be fair, that's why I was trying very intentionally to use the word potential double bottom. There is potential that it could be a double bottom. Now, I think I slipped a couple times and didn't say potential, but I know I said potential several times. Wait, I think JDA's been here before. I think I remember that name. But JDA, well, I don't even know why you're watching the markets. Just go enjoy life. GameStop's going to 500. You're going to be filthy rich, man. Go enjoy life. I know you've been on GameStop. That's what I'm saying. Why are you watching the markets? If it's going to 500, man, go enjoy life. Because you like my live. Well, I appreciate it. What am I supposed to say to that? Can we get 2 more likes? Let's get us up over 50 would be great. Can we get 2 more likes? Well, just another big move down. Maybe we can get some sort of... Yeah, I was going to draw a trend line here, but too soon. We got to see how this develops here. But yeah, shorting right here at this point in time for me, that's a little scary. It's a little scary. Kelvin, I'm up 2,700 for the day. Very good, Kelvin. Well, you can go up to making 4,500, so you still got wiggle room. SM, I actually got into trading after watching your live stream back around 2016, around then. I think you just mean my videos, because I've only been live streaming for like the past month and a half. No, I don't know if I change your life. I don't change people's lives. People gotta change their own lives. Okay, now I can see something here. You could take a I swear, I promise. Wait, what's up with the jumping? Did Trump just tweet? I promise everybody, I was in the process of drawing that trend line, and I was going to say, well, another trade plan you could take. I realize there's no credibility here because it's all hindsight now. But for those of you that trust me, I promise I was about to say, well, you could take a short of that trend line there because you have a tight stop right above there. So, but I couldn't get those words out because as you saw, it just all of a sudden broke and then spiked down. Hey, we're at 55 likes. Excellent. Thank you. Now, at one point, it could have made sense to maybe try to buy along, like if it pushes up here, because you'd have a tight risk profile, but this candle here has totally wrecked that risk profile standpoint. Okay, the way the market is going, I can retire at 97, and I've seen that meme out there, or something similar. Mind if I ask how much you... Oh, yeah, so... Yeah, gaming. So what Kelvin did yesterday, showed up and he signed up for this. So to make that money, he's in the test phase. He got $150,000 worth of purchasing power. So he needed $252. So right now he's going through the test. His profit target goal to pass the test is $9,000. He is not allowed to lose $4,500 though. If he loses $4,500, then he would fail. Now he can always try again. He can reset for $100. That's how it works. So it's not like he's got to pay $252 again. But then if he were to pass the test here, then he would move into the pro account, where then the money he makes, he's getting to keep 80% of. In the Pro Plus account, he would get to keep 90% of. But the point here is that all in right now, he's only got $252 on the line. Because if he does something stupid, loses his mind, gets caught in a spike, and something crazy happens, and he loses $4,500, he's actually only lost $252. So that's why prop firms futures trading through a prop firm, there's a lot to like, So that's what he meant when he told you that he's only spent $252. It's because he spent $252 to get that $150,000 worth of purchasing power. If this is another COVID type dump, GameStop can really go to the moon. No, GameStop, that's come and gone. GameStop's over. GameStop was epic. It had a massive short squeeze, but the short squeeze has happened. GameStop not going to 500. No way. Not going to happen. Yeah, gaming. What are you gaming with Purge Anarchy? What do you trade right now? Oops. Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to face it. I'll be honest. I did catch some falling knives earlier today. I was super aggressive, so I survived. But I know this people here, several people in our community, and I think just probably in general, prop firm traders, I know, because a lot of people trade prop firms just because it's a no-brainer. Like, it literally makes perfect sense. Pam's Plant, if you've not heard of Pam's Plant, you should definitely learn about it. But I know several members lost their accounts on this move here, trying to catch the falling knife. And again, I did play it. I tried to catch the knife, but I was super, super aggressive. So I did survive. No blown accounts for me. But then I started shorting and started making money. So for those of you that are on the live stream, I first took what? My first short was hair. How did that work? I don't remember. But anyways, on the live stream so far today, I took one short. It didn't work, but then I got short again there. And then this area here knocked me out with that, not quite that spike. But yeah. So right now, I'm going to just get rid of that. Yeah, I'm thinking, if you insist on catching a falling knife, I could see, something like that. You buy right there, and then you have a tight stop below the lows. But it is still a general falling knife atmosphere, because that's what the 5-minute looks like. So if you're going to catch falling knives, I'd say do it with tight stops. They're low probability trades, but the low probability nature is compensated in the fact that at least it's not going to be like a bunch of money lost. So yeah, right here, we can paper trade it. So what did I say? The entry point was like right there, that cross here. So right there, if you're looking at scalp, you could be getting a scalp right now. So yeah, right now that'd be working. I haven't traded for a few years. I was doing okay and then got really greedy and lost what I made. And then went negative, could have stayed plus but got greedy. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Greed has shown up, I think, for most people here. We can all relate to the greed. When do they put you on Pro Plus, and did they... I think it's after you make like 10,000. If you make 10,000 in an account, they'll put you on Pro Plus. JDA, you were literally... JDA, GameStop, it's over. Like that is that's a overplayed. It's not going to 500. It's not. GameStop is over. It's been over. It's just not going to happen. Plus, your whole premise is, well, if another COVID type crash happens. So if another event happens, that usually happens like once every, what is it? Like you have pandemics every, 100 years or so? So if the event happens again within the next few months or years, that only happens statistically every 100 years, then yeah, we could get a push. But even if that were to happen, I would still contest GameStop. That one is played out. Now maybe another stock comes, maybe another cult forms around another stock, but GameStop, that ship has sailed as far as I'm concerned. All right, we are now getting data for potentially another. So if you want to keep trying to go with the trend, Maybe stop up here. I don't like a stop way up there. That's too big of a risk profile. I would not take it on this candle, though. I'm potentially interested, but I need to see this play out a little bit more. I need to see a few more candles. So I am not going to take this. I need more candles. Maybe that'll prove to be a very poor decision on my part. But I'd like to see a few more candles. Make sure that we keep a tight risk profile. Because if I could put a stop like right up around here, I'd like that. So it becomes either a breakdown or we just get out. So again, I'm not going to take it here. Maybe that's going to make me look foolish. And right now, it's looking like... But this could be a fake breakdown. That's why I don't want to take it. Yeah, JDA, we'll just have to agree to disagree. Like, I get it. You have drunken the Kool-Aid. You are a firm believer of GameStop. I realize I'm not going to convince you of anything, so we will just have to agree to disagree. My contention is that you are drunk on Kool-Aid, and you are going to be that you never sell for 500. I'm not saying you won't sell for a profit, but I'll never guarantee. I'm at 99.57% that when you sell for, and it could be for a profit, it's not going to be anywhere close to $500 per share that you sell. Just like when you got in at 8 and then you ended up selling at 60, like what's up with that? That just shows that you didn't actually believe those numbers. If you believed them, you wouldn't have sold at 60. But the rational part of your brain kicked in. You're like, wait a second, I'm up like hundreds of percents. Maybe I should get out. It's like, good JDA. Okay, so that's exactly why I was not comfortable taking it. Now, if you're a scalper shorter, yeah, there's maybe enough room in there to take out a scalp. But if you're a short looking for more pushback, yeah, you're probably a little nervous right now. Were you ever able to get into Discord, Hoover Flag? Like I said, there have been 0 other reported issues. Yeah, so that is why I did not take it. Deep down, I'm really glad to see this action because that way I look kind of smart in this situation. Pickles, the narrative that, oh, yeah, so Pickles, you said that, yeah, you're not good at this. And my point to you, Pickles, was like, yeah, this is the exact thing that you should be trading. Futures through a prop firm because, again, you could get yourself $25,000 of buying power for only $105. So if you're not good and use something really stupid, it's only going to cost you $105, right? Whereas if you're doing really stupid stuff in whatever you're trading and you're using your own money, well, that could be a whole lot more than $105 that it's costing you because it's fully your money that you're using. So Pickles, I would say that if you're struggling, if you're not good, that's fine. Go with futures. Go with a prop firm. Yeah, I'll have to do that again after the live stream, Hoover. Why hold meme coins when you can hold the mother of all memes, which is GameStop? JDA, because it's past. It's over. It's a thing of the past. It's like, why hold... Man, why get an iPhone when you could get one of these flip phones? You know, look at this flip phone. I got like the original flip phone. Why would you get an iPhone? All right, it's past. BlackBerry, yeah, or like a BlackBerry. You're basically arguing right now for Blackberries. Oh, it's totally the same. You're arguing for something that used to be cool, that like used to be in. I'm thinking, what is this? 90 up to, oh, that's a 20-point risk for, no, I don't want to risk that. I was thinking about getting short here, but my risk profile is too high right now. Can't get in right here. I don't like the amount of risk. If it wants to come up some more, I'm interested. I'm interested in getting long. Using this pivot point, which you can see here has already acted as resistance a couple of times. So I am interested in potentially using that as my stop loss location. If you are enjoying again, smash that like button. Smash it. Our goal is 110 likes. We're doing well, but if you have not been here, Yeah, no, that's true. The Motorola Razor, those things were pretty fun. But now it's kind of like it's old news. It's already happened. You're waiting for a flush? Yeah, we'll see what happens. What are we down? I mean, right now, down 300 points. So it's quite the move. Just got to be, in my mind, I'm a little worried about potentially just starting to chop around here. Which why if I do take a short, I'd rather just kind of know right away whether I'm wrong or right. So if I get in short up around here with a tight stop right there, okay. But yeah, to short down here, now we might get some sort of trend line to build out, but right now there's no trend line built out. I guess you could even that seems too tight to me. If your entry point is there and your stop is the pivot point, I mean, right there, if that's your target, just lows, I mean, your risk is actually bigger than your potential reward right there. So not a huge fan of that. So yeah, if anything, in my mind at least, in my opinion, price has got to come up here a little bit more to the top part of this area because at least that narrows down our risk profile and gives us, I would say, a better chance. Choppy is killing a lot of accounts. Well, I can say that in my community, gratefully they were just prop firm accounts, but this movement right here, that wrecked a bunch of accounts. And funny story there, I had that trend line. I alerted that trend line in the community. If you don't believe me, I guess just let me know and I'll show you this. I'll just bring over my community. And how did that work? It came down and then shot back up and spooked me out. So it was still a winning trade, but it spooked me out and then boom. Not that I would have played that perfectly, but man, I should have gotten way more than that, but I got spooked out. Sir Christopher, when my boomer uncle starts talking about a particular stock, I know it's too late. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. So now maybe, I mean, could you get short there and then you just put a stop above these highs? At least you have a smaller risk profile right now. I don't necessarily love that. Thanks, Clay. I've been with TPT, but I've blown every account I bought. I think I need to learn charts myself. Well, if you want to learn, I do offer learning for that. So I'll link you to this real quick. We'll turn into a quick little sales pitch that will last all of about 2 seconds. So if you are interested in learning more about what I have to offer, here you go. If not, that's totally cool, Pickles. I still like you. We're friends. No problem at all. But you mentioned wanting to learn charts, and that is the backbone to my mentorship program there. So check it out. Whatever you decide, I still like you. Hey, Clay, what's going on with the market right now? Everything is down. Well, do you want like the guaranteed answer or do you want the speculative answer? Because I can give you a guaranteed answer about why the market is gone. Like you cannot, it's like the fact of the matter of why the market is gone. So I could give you that or I could give you the speculation one. Which one would you like? The fact one or the speculation one? Cool, Pickles. Oh, this is getting tempting. Look at that. Forming out a little bit of a support. I still don't like that. It just seems too far. It is too far away. The fact answer is because the market is down today because there are more sellers than buyers. Basic supply and demand. There is more supply out there today than demand. More people are wanting to sell than to buy today. That's why the market is down. Now, why do more people want to sell compared to buy? I don't know. Go read some headlines. You can read 20 headlines and you'll get 10 different, or did I say 10 or 20 headlines? I don't know. You could read 20 different headlines and you'll get 20 different answers as to the why there are more sellers than buyers out there today. So that, I have no idea. But I can say factually that the reason why the markets are down today is because there are more sellers than buyers. Again. All right, well, I don't know. I think I'm fitting a square peg through a round hole here. I'm not a big fan of that trend line. I mean, maybe that's a legitimate trend line. That seems a little too aggressive for me, but yeah, I'm going to take it out there. And even if it works, like, whatever. Like, yeah, kind of just in no man's land right now. What's the ES looking like? ES, same general dynamic right now. Although I will say that ES, I think, gives us a little bit better of a trend line because we can get some angle down here. So there we go. And then, if we draw this across the top like that, and then if we draw this down, whoops. If we draw this down like this, so the ES has got a 2-minute bear pennant right now. So again, support trend line, resistance, move down. Let me put the golf hole up here for you golfers. Upside down bull or upside down pennant, which makes it a bear pennant. So yeah, ES. If you're an ES trader, ES. If you're new to futures, this just is representing what's going on with the S&P 500. But yeah, if you were to tell me that you're looking to short this, I would not call you crazy. Doesn't mean that it's going to work, but I see it. You're shorting a bear pennant breakdown. I can see that. Again, does not mean it'll work. That's why risk management matters, but I would not accuse you of doing something irrational. Like, geez, that seems kind of like a dart throw. That doesn't seem to have much logic behind it. I see it. I can see the logic. We'll get that out of here. Yeah, that's the question here on the ES. It is an always chart. I'm not sure what you mean by that. In this case, I'm wondering if it's valid to buy the dip for stocks like, well, are you investing, Sean? Are you trading? I mean, if you're investing, and I don't know how old, see, this is why it's, I say it with all due respect, Sean, I say it because I don't want to mislead you, but like, it's a really bad question because you have not told me variables. Like, how old are you? If you're 20, and then it's like, okay, yeah, go ahead, buy some tech stocks because the tech stocks, I'm thinking like 40 years from now when you're looking to retire, like I'm thinking that the tech market will be higher than where it is right now, 40 years from now. But if you're like 75, I don't know. If you need the money kind of soon, I'm not quite sure if you should be getting into tech stocks. So I don't know how old you are. I don't know. I don't even know if you're talking about trading or investing. So you got to give a little bit more variables to get even, close to a reasonable answer. Where are we at with the NQ? Do we have? Okay. All right. Maybe here. Do we have the beginning of a, now I do not like this. Like, I'm not taking a breakdown right now, but if we can get some more, so if we can get this thing to kind of bounce around here a little bit and then go, I could see that. But I don't like it on this candle. Obviously, you are more than welcome to disagree with me on that, but I don't like taking the short here. I could see it, though. I could see taking the short there, and you got yourself a stop-loss location up over the high, so it's kind of like one of those breakdown or get out. But like I said, I'd like to see a couple more candles, but again, would I call you just an absolutely crazy person to get short right there? No, because you do have a relatively tight stop, and if you get continuation to the downside, then you could be making a whole lot more than what you're risking. So like I said, I wouldn't call you a crazy person, but like I said, I want to see a couple more candles stay above here. Let's go back and check on ES and that pattern. Uh-oh, ES, right, look at that. Power of charts right on that trend line, and the trend line holds. Okay, it's trying to break. All right, does the bear pennant get continuation? Because it has broken down through. Not so awe-inspiring, though. I will say that right now. I would have thought that maybe we'd get a little bit more movement here. So that has me nervous quite a bit. Let's go back to the NQ. NQ still sitting right at that level. What would be great, maybe I'm being too high maintenance, is for this thing to bounce up and then come back down. Boom. I would take that trade. A bounce up and then for it to come back down. The psychology being the bounce up is getting longs excited. Okay, here we go. And then if it comes back down, it's breaking the long spirits. And that's where I want to be as a short. I want to be where the longs are sad and frustrated and annoyed. But it looks like it's looking like my perfect little world is not going to quite play out. Where's the ES at? Yeah, not the most awe-inspiring breakdown at all. Yeah, so again, that's me personally. I did not feel comfortable on that candle there. It seemed like too much of likelihood of maybe a fake breakdown, which is seemingly where it's at again. But if anybody took it, and had their stop there, they'd still be in the game. Frustrated long. Yeah, as shorts, that's our jobs. Ask yourself the question, where are the longs going to be frustrated, sad, irritated, and wanting to wave the white flag? That's a good entry point for a short. On the flip side of things, if you're a long-sided trader, you ask the opposite question. Where are the shorts going to be angry, frustrated, sad, irritated? Those areas, generally speaking, would be good entry points from the long side. So that's what it's all about, trying to figure out the other team. What would make the other team sad? What would make them happy? What would make them confident? What would make them maybe a little overconfident? But if you can put yourself in the other team's shoes, that's a great spot to be in when it comes to developing trade plans. All right, there we go. Well, trying to come back down now. So like I said, assuming people had their stop up here where their crosshair is, they weathered that little miniature bounce right there. Now it's just a question of, can they get more follow through? You got to think that if it breaks the lows right here, you'll get another surge to the downside. Because again, as a long, ask yourself, if you were a disciplined long, not a hold and hope degenerate, but a disciplined long, like where would you have your stop? I would assume you'd have it somewhere down below the lows. Like I would assume you want to put it right above the lows. So that's why if the price can break those lows, is that going to trigger a bunch of stops? So that's definitely the next goal. Because you know there's some longs still hanging in there. Yeah, they're not necessarily happy about this movement, but a long is saying, but we're still above the highs, or excuse me, we're still above the lows. So the long still has hope. So the question for a short is, where does the hope for longs disappear? And in my opinion, at least, the hope for the longs disappears if it breaks through those lows. And why do we care about where the hope disappears? Because when there's no more hope, what's the person going to do? What's the long going to do? See you later. They're going to sell. When a long is really irritated, what are they going to do? Get out of here. Well, what does get out of here mean? They're selling. And a short's that's what we want. So is that the point there where the hope disappears and the anger kicks in? And is that going to create more of a flush to the downside? See, right now, there's still hope. There we go. There we go. That's what the longs are saying. Again, play the game. If you were a long, how would you be feeling right now? You'd be saying, you'd be getting nervous, but this candle here would have you feeling good. Like, okay, we got a chance. We got a chance. What's the ES doing? Let's hop over to the ES. All right, ES, that's getting the breakdown again. That one, if a stop was above there, you would have weathered that storm. Same proposition here, though. Longs they're going to hang in there because it's still above the lows. So the longs right now can still say, but we're above the lows. That's what the longs can say on both of these. So there's still, and look at that, bounce right off the white line. So that, I mean, this is better than any Hollywood movie. Are you serious? The point of no hope, the point where hope disappears and anger kicks in. That's what you're looking for as a short. Now, if you already got in, then this is just kind of the point where you're like, okay, this is where my bigger payday comes. Because I'd assume you're kind of already in the green a little bit. Maybe you've already locked in some green, but nothing huge. But this is the kind of more so the payday point. Can you get the break there and really get paid? Let's hop back over to the ES. Okay, the longs are still able to say, but it's above the lows. So as a short, you've got to take that out. You've got to take the but out of their vocabulary. And right there, to be fair to the longs, good for them. That's why disciplined longs would be having a stop below that level, because you don't want, as I mentioned not that long ago, putting a stop right above that level. They would have been stopped out to just have the price bounce. And then you know what those people would have been like? It's manipulation. It's the stop loss hunters. It's the algo. No, it's none of those things. It's you put the stop in a very illogical spot. You put it right above the support. So that's why you want to keep the stops below areas of support for that reason right there. Because if you didn't, you would have come down, you would have gotten stopped out as a long, and then boom. So now the shorts are pretty irritated. Pretty irritated. It will dip. So Ivan, you're all in? You're all in short, Ivan? I don't think the one person ever told me their age. Hey, Austin's here. Austin, I'm going to make you a mod. If you see anything that's just ridiculous, go ahead and delete. There we go. Austin is a member of my private community, so I know I can trust him. Austin is a way better trader than I am. Are you doing anything here, Austin? I don't know. Do you get short again on this trend line here and think that this, because now the other thing that you have to remember is, well, think about the longs. How does this green candle have them feeling right now? How would it have you feeling? Got to think they're feeling very good. But if this candle here disappears and gives it all back, now how would you feel? Which is what's happening right here. That would have, at least if I were the long, I'd be feeling very disheartened right now. Because think about it. They went from feeling cloud nine, look at this beautiful bounce to, uh-oh. And now they're approaching kind of the no hope point down here. Your name's Austin, so this is getting... where's the ES at? Same problem, same problem. All eyes on this low right here. The longs can still use the butt. Yeah, I'm discouraged, but it's still above the lows. It's still above the lows. Are they going to be able to maintain? Can the longs maintain this? Again, if you wanted to take what I would argue kind of maybe a lower probability trade, I mean, I wouldn't call you crazy, but if you get long right here with a stop right below there, I mean, very, very tight risk. Again, I don't know if it's a lower probability trade, but the lower probability is being compensated by the fact that at least it would be, it wouldn't be a huge monetary loss. But yeah, I would not, at this point, I would not call you crazy if you wanted to get long somewhere down around here. Because at this point, a couple of times bounced right there, multiple times bounced right there. But again, the only reason why I would not call you crazy is under the assumption that you have a stop below lows because your risk is very, very tight. So it's one of those, either you're going to get a bounce and you could be looking at a very good risk versus reward. And when I say bounce, I mean, even if it just bounces up to like these highs right here, I mean, that would still be a crazy risk relative to what was being, a crazy reward relative to what was being risked. So I would not call you crazy at all if you're thinking long down there with a tight, tight stop. But it's got to be a tight stop because if this level fails, you don't want to be caught in, the next round of just pure carnage to the downside. Yeah, Austin, we try to tell JDA that GameStop is like, it's like a BlackBerry phone. He's like, the BlackBerry phone, Blackberries are awesome. It's like, no, Blackberries used to be awesome, but now like there's new things that you can use. But he's inconvincible. He is drinking the GME Kool-Aid, which I did not know that GameStop Kool-Aid still even existed, but it does. But JDA says that he's here. He likes the stream, so I mean, I like him for that reason. It's hard to disagree with somebody that does not like the stream. All right, well. Still not out of the woods. If anything, we have... Oh, here we go. All right, well. Now I am getting potentially interested here in a short. If it wants to come back down there now. Hey, Brian, how are you? Where do you think these boomers that are hoarding their unrealized wealth would go? Nobody's hoarding anything. We call that saving. We call that financial responsibility. Another pet peeve of mine. People are just hoarding their wealth. No, it's called people saving. And then people want, and those are the same people that are broke with credit card because they spend money as fast as it comes in. And then they want to, hoarding is... Be a hoarder with your finances. Because you know what? Hoarders, other finances, are able to invest. Because that's what you can do with your hoarded money. You can invest. You can do stuff with it. So, to use that word hoarding, it has a negative implication to it. I disagree with that. Please, every wealthy person I know is a money hoarder. Because they save money. And when you have saved money, when you have hoarded money, guess what you can do? You can invest it. You could go get some dividend stocks. You could start a company. You could do a private loan. You could get into real estate investing. But in order to do all those things, you've got to have hoarded money. You've got to save. You're 24? Gotcha. If you are enjoying, hit that like button. We just broke a new record. We just hit 140 concurrent viewers. The record before this was 130. Well, this is exciting. Again, if you are new here, welcome. No need to hit the like button yet because I understand you may not like this. But if you have been here before and you know that you're going to like, hit that like button. We want to get up to 110 minimum. Where's the ES at right now? Just a sloppy. Yeah, that trend line there. Again, it depends on your strategy. It delivered if you're a scalper. If you're a short scalper, you got enough move right there. You could have scalped out some profits. But if you are not a scalper, if you want, and if you're looking for bigger moves, then yeah, this was a very disappointing pattern for sure. Is that Judd? All right. Let me make Judd a mod. I don't know. Is this thing getting ready to come off the bottom? There it is right there. Let's look over in the NQ. So now we have kind of an ascending triangle here that's forming, but the problem with this ascending triangle is it's basically part of a bear pennant. Because right here, to draw it very crudely, we have this area of resistance. We have kind of this upwards movement. So yeah, ascending triangle, but it's part of this downwards move, which is still just a bear pennant. So that's what's making this a little bit more challenging. Yeah, I don't know. Is this thing getting ready to break out? I'll admit, I'm scared to short right here. I'm going to need to see a little bit of confirmation of maybe some weakness. Because to just go short right here, I mean, it could totally work out. It could totally get rejected, but it's looking pretty strong. Looking pretty strong. Oh, this is tempting from the short side. But yeah, it just, look at that. Green candles in a row. I gotta look for some weakness. I am interested though. By the way, this is just kind of my putzing around account. My other account that I focused on today did pretty well on it. So yeah, this account is just, like I said, kind of my live stream putz around account. If I get a little, not reckless, but if I see the gains go down, or, you know, it's not the end of the world. Because a lot of people here, I realize you've never even seen futures trading. So I like to make trades just to kind of illustrate that. But only ones with a debt are the young, but they're forced to go into debt because they're facing highest inflation in history. Nobody is forced to go into debt. False narrative. Come on, JDA. Now, do people force themselves? Do people cause themselves to go into debt? Yes. If you choose to borrow money to go get a degree in Roman bobsledding, then yes, you are forcing yourself into debt. Now, if you decide to go into debt to get a degree in nursing or engineering or something of that nature, then no, you won't be in debt. Well, let me put that back. You'll be in debt, but it'll definitely be an investment type of debt where you will be able to pay off that debt. Because guess what? You'll be able to get a job. You'll be able to get a good job. So, yeah. It's really, are you treating it as debt or as an investment? Debt would be, I'm going to go get a 4-year degree with, you know, my Ecuadorian weaving degree. You know? An investment would be, I'm going to take that same money, I'm going to go into debt, but I'm getting a nursing degree. Or better yet, like the 2-year degrees out there are crazy. Like dental hygienists that like clean your teeth, that's a 2-year degree, and you should look at how much they make. To only go to school for 2 years. And then, of course, the trades, right? Learn to become a carpenter, electrician, plumber, start your own company. Oh my goodness. Who here wants to know how to get rich? If I were broke, anybody interested in how you could make a lot of money quickly? I got an idea. I'll share it. I'll tell you what I would do. Hey, Clay, if you were broke, what would you do if you needed to start over? Yeah, super chats. That's what I would do. I would start begging for super chats. Now, again, hey, hit the like button. Let's get this over 100 here. Let's get this over 100. We only need 19 more. What do you think about jumping into day trading, high percentage stocks? No. Okay, school fights, let me ask you this. Do you have over $25,000? And I know I'm kind of getting up in your business, but it's actually relevant to our conversation. So school fights, you're asking about stocks. So my first question is, do you have more than $25,000? Well, I guess I should have gotten short, but I was too scared. Be realistic and don't look into a privileged POV. JDA, what are you talking about? The Robinhood cash account. Okay, well, first off, there is no unprivileged when it comes to school. Like, the government will loan you money. Anybody can get a loan. Anybody can get a loan. The disprivilege, if that's a word, comes from people making poor choices with what they do with that money. People could join the military, and then your college is totally paid for with the GI Bill. No, you're not in, you're in debt, but that's like saying your mortgage is debt, yes, but it's a debt on an appreciating asset. If you make a good college degree choice, it is a debt, yes, but it's on an appreciating asset. Because as you grow in your career, you're going to be able to sell your time for more money and you'll be able to pay it off. Well, yeah, sometimes life is hard sometimes. But fine, don't go to the military, JDA. The government gives away loans. Go pick a good job field and get a loan. That's it, JDA. It's easy. It's not that hard to Google high-paying careers, good-paying careers. But yeah, JDA, if you go take out a 4-year loan to get a philosophy degree and graduate with $160,000 in debt with a philosophy degree, yeah, you just put yourself in a disprivileged spot. But the system did not do that to you. The system did not say, hey, go get a philosophy degree. I mean, really, this is why the government should get out of loans. The kindest thing you could do to students, the most polite thing you could do to students is say no. And you know who would say no to a philosophy degree, $160,000? A for-profit bank. Because a for-profit bank is going to look and be like, no, that's a terrible decision. We're not going to get our money back. So disapproved. And that disapproval would be the kindest thing you could do to that 18-year-old kid. Saying no would be the kindest thing. Whereas if that 18-year-old kid shows up and is like, yeah, I want to become a doctor. Here's so I'm going to need XYZ. And, they have the grades to prove it, all that sort of stuff. Hey, you know what a bank's going to be? They're going to be like, hey, that's a good investment. We like doctors. Approved. The nicest thing you could do is to get the loans out of the government and into the hands of the for-profit banks. Those greedy banks, they're greedy. But you know what comes with greed? Analysis. So that greedy analysis is going to be like, yeah, $100,000 and you're going to get a psychology degree? Yeah, disapproved. Because we're not going to be able to get our money back because we're greedy. We want that profit. And you know what? That kid 20 years down the line when they're not struggling in debt is going to say, thank you, Mr. Greedy Banker. Thank you. So that is how you fix a whole lot, in my opinion. Get the government out of the student loan business. Put it in the greedy bankers' hands. Let them do their analysis. Yes, kids will be told no. No, you can't do that. But 20 years later, my claim is that those same kids will be like, thank you, greedy banker. Because looking back, man, my life would be pretty bad if I was drowning in student loan debt and I don't have a way to pay it back because my degree was ultimately worthless. So that's my solution to all that. But then, yes, there are people like JDA that will, some people are just going to offer excuses no matter what. And they're going to they're trying to work the system by just getting rich on a stock that they think is going to go to $500. But and we're not making any more kids. That is true. Replacement rate is down. People need to get out there and have some kids. I'm doing my part. I have 6 kids. But that part is true. Replacement rates are going down. I won't get on that stump, though. I'll leave that. That's a little bit outside of the world of money and economics. Education system, though, loans, greedy bankers, that's in the world of numbers. But I won't get into all of that. That's probably outside of the scope of the live stream. But I reject the premise that kids cannot get ahead. No, I'm sorry, you don't get to go to school for 4 years, party, get drunk every night for your 4-year degree that's completely worthless, and then think that you're now entitled to get ahead in life. Yeah, go to a vocational school. Learn how to be a plumber, carpenter, HVAC, tool and die maker. And then start a business after a while. Oh, so my idea. Oh, I'm sorry. And I school fights. So stocks are a waste of capital because there's much better ways you could go about things. So we were talking about Google or you're saying these high percentage stocks. So your argument is I want to trade some of these stocks because they're like really crazy. What's a crazy one that was happened today? VVPR, is that one? Okay. So let's look at VVPR. This one was, let's just call it to make the math easier. It was at $3 and it went up as high as $5. So that's $2 move, right? That's a huge percentage mover, right? $2, it went up. So in order to make halfway worthwhile money, let's just say that you wanted to buy 500 shares because it's only a $3 stock. So if you want 500 shares and they each cost $3, that means you needed $1,500. Now it did go up, what is 3 to 5? So it did go up $2 per share. And if you had $5 or 500 shares and each one went up $2, then you did walk away with $1,000. So on the surface, that seems really good. Wow, you only needed $1,500 and you could have made $1,000. Okay, now let's take that over. But keep in mind is if things would have went south, because these stocks are very volatile. This one it worked out, but these stocks kind of known for the rug pulls, pump and dumps, they can go down in a hurry. So let's say, but in this situation, we'll put that aside for now. But now let's look at the futures market. So again, $1,500 is what you would have needed. So let's just look at kind of a crazy move here. So from this move, let's just call it this breakdown. From here down to, let's just call it right here. That's 2180. So right here, this difference, again, a respectable move. This move here was 21 or 180 up to 240. So this difference here was 60. Now in futures, we call that points. So this was a 60-point move. And in futures, one of the types, the NQ, 1 point equals $20, okay? So how much was this worth right here, that movement? That movement was, well, let's do some math. If we said that 1 point is $20 and then that moved 60 points, then that was worth $1,200 right there. Now, the big point right now is, yeah, but how much money did you need to get access to this movement? Which is fair. How much money did you need? Well, this is where prop firms come into play because from a prop firm standpoint, in order to take advantage, because that was all based on one contract, you could have gotten $25,000 of buying power for $105. $105, and you would have had access to that $1,200 move for just $105. Whereas the stock that we just assumed you played perfectly, that was $1,500 out of your own pocket. And here's the kicker. With prop firms, you only have $105. Now, you do have to prove yourself. There are rules, and the rule with this size account is you can't lose $1,500. But on those micro cap stocks, if you lose your mind or you get stuck in a rug pull or you get stuck in something, you could very realistically lose $1,500. Very, very realistically. Or, a good chunk of money. But in this situation, if something crazy happens and you lose $1,500, sure, you fail the test. Sure, they'll take the account away from you. And yeah, you have to try again. But at the end of the day, it still only costs you $105. So my point with these high-flying small stocks, sure, they do make high-flying movements. But they also do that in the opposite direction against you. And if all of your capital is your capital, then when those big, oh, that was a nasty move against me. Yeah, that's all your money. But in prop firms that, oh, that was a nasty move. Sure, maybe within your test it cost you $1,500, but within the real world that came out of your pocket only $105. So hopefully that makes sense, school fights. That is why I would recommend trading futures through a prop firm because futures move way more often than these movements happen anyways. Not to mention you have to like scan for these every single day, whereas futures, you know what you're going to trade every single day and you just do it. I got killed on Mullen Auto yesterday being greedy. Yeah, and the thing is, and exactly. So, well, thank you for your your honesty and transparency in that. So you got killed. And by the way, hit that like button. We need 10 more. Well, actually, we need 20 more to get up to our goal. So hit that like button if you're enjoying. But so you got killed, and yeah, that's the thing is, if you quote unquote get killed in the prop firm world, and so let's just say, let's say you get really killed, and let's say in the prop firm world with futures, you get killed quote unquote by losing 4,500. Yes, you failed. They'll take the account away from you. But did it actually cost you $4,500? It didn't. It would have cost you $252. Whereas your own money on Mullen yesterday, when you got killed, that was all your money, wasn't it? That's brutal. So you're going to have a lot. You're going to be able to last a lot longer. You're going to be able to survive a lot longer if those, in your situation, you got greedy. So I got greedy, but I learned a lot. Well, but I got greedy, but I learned a lot. That costs you a lot of your own money. In the prop firm world, you can still get greedy. You can still do dumb things, but the amount it costs you out of your wallet is just so much less. I'm sorry, and I'm not ignoring anybody's comments, but now we're getting to the point, which I love. People are discussing things. I can't quite see it all. But I will say $5 super chats. I will see the comment and I will get to it. So if you have something burning to say or to tell me, $5 super chats guarantees that I'll see it. Let's go. 6 more likes to at least get up to 100. Man, there it is. That level right there did indeed hold. Where are we at time-wise? All right, we got another about 30 minutes. Again, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. I do not think you're crazy at all. In fact, I might try it just to kind of, I'm going to try it. So I'm going to go buy, and then this is very low risk. I mean, I'm doing this more for the sake so people can see futures. So there's my buy, and my stop is going to be right there, sell stop. So I'm risking 7 points. So it's under a $20 risk. But again, I'm doing, if you're like, wait, what's the point? Well, that's the nice thing about futures is you can increase the movement. You can increase the volatility by just increasing your position size at no extra cost. Because you could say, well, yeah, you can increase your position size with stocks too. You just buy more shares. Yeah, but buying more shares actually means you have to put up more of your money. But in prop firms, that's not the case because for the same amount of money, you can increase your position size. Because right here, for the 25,000, it's only 105. So what I'm doing as 1 right now, I could technically take that as high as 30. But it's not costing me anymore. It's still 105. So let's see if this wants to come down. Again, low probability trade because if this thing picks up momentum. But hey, it's bounced down here a couple times before. I'll try to see if this is indeed some sort of sideways channel that's forming. I'm willing to take on that risk. Come on, can we get 4 more likes? 4 more likes. Let's go. Uh-oh, somebody said somebody's the typical American. Uh-oh, what does that mean? What is a typical American? It's not about what's best to know. Go research the brain benefits of learning another language, then go back at most profitable languages and how much you can make. Yeah, no, I think learning another language would be very helpful. Although us Americans kind of have the advantage because we're taught English from the get-go, and English is kind of the language that seems to be the most beneficial. But no, I agree that learning another language doesn't hurt. Although I'm curious, what is a typical American? It's always fun. Thanks, Webb. Thanks for the like. Hey, and we're at 100. We still got, oh, nice, 101. Got 9 more to go to hit the goal. Again, right now, looking to play, if this is some sort of sideways channel, I'll throw my hat in the ring. I got a buy right there, but my stop right below the lows. Very, very tight. Well, now you're generalizing because I literally just said you're making a blanket statement. I am an American. America. And I just told you that I think learning another language is beneficial. And my point was it is the most useful around the world. My point was we do have an advantage because we are taught in school how we grow up. We are brought up with what, to your own point, is the most useful language in the world. So therefore, we have an advantage because we do not need to learn the most useful language in the world. That's just what we learn in terms of as children. That's what we hear. So I would encourage you to refrain from blanket statements. America is a big place. America is a big place, okay? Yeah. Yeah. You could go, by all means. Learn about other cultures, foods, personality, histories, making friends. Learn about all that stuff. I'm all for it. My argument is if you're going to go down and load yourself in debt to get a degree in other countries' cultures and foods and all that sort of stuff, that would be a waste of money. There's no, there's no job market for that. In fact, I would argue just do all that research on your own and then like start your own blog or own channel or own, who are the people that help set up travel stuff? What are those people called? Does that even exist? Agency, travel agency? What are those people called that set up a vacation for you? Travel agents, right? How to download apps on Roku TV? I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. Okay, maybe gaming is having a conversation with JDA. Gaming, FY. Wait, no, you've been here since the get go. Yeah, JDA is kind of stuck in his ways. He's not a very open minded individual. I don't think. Check out Treadline starting from 11:22. 11:20. Is that it right there? No, that's 11:32. Oh, that must be it? No, that's 11:20. Right here? Okay, 11:22. Ooh. Playing the breakout of that trend line here, Austin? Are you playing it? If you're playing it, I'll go long. Possibly. All right, well. As Americans, we don't believe in learning other languages, yet when we go to other countries, we just naturally expect them to speak English to us. Oh, yeah, I can't really. I don't know if that would be my expectation. I think that's why I haven't traveled internationally, because I'm like, I don't know those people's language. So for myself, no, I would not expect them to speak English. Let's go. 5 more likes. 5 more likes, and our goal is hit. I guess if I forget about this order, I guess not the end of the world because I do have a stop in. You don't use ATM? Yeah, sometimes I do. Scalped short, 15 points, looking for an entry long. Good job. Good job. Come on, 2 more likes, and our goal is hit. When I went to Italy, I didn't expect it, but I got it by 90% of the people there spoke English. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the claim that Americans expect you to speak English. But that, to be fair, I'm basing that off of a sample size of 1, because yeah, that's why, if anything, I'm nervous to travel internationally, because like I don't know the language, and I'm not expecting them to have signs in English. I'm not expecting them to speak English to me. So I jumped into micro algo at 75% and sold when it hit about 280%. I'm super new at this and just wondering if I'm doing it right. I've subscribed to your channel. I mean, you're not wrong, Super or School Fights, but did my explanation about how you need so much less capital in futures with a prop firm than you do need with stocks, plus your risk is so much more minimal? Did that explanation make sense, School Fights? There we go, 112 likes. Great group, great group. Well, I'm canceling that. I think this might be a breakdown here. This whole failure down, that's got me nervous now. School Fights. All right, good. Glad that made sense. Reason why I'm hesitating is a 5-minute. The 5-minute is just boop, 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 boop. So, I mean, do you want to go short right there? Maybe, but I don't want to go long there either. I mean, I can do something. It's just, this is my, like I said, this is my putts around account. So, all right. All right, let's just do this. Let me go short, and I can put a stop right there. So my risk is very, very minimal. No, no, no. Or do I just buy at the long? Oh, there's my long. I would have been filled at my long, still be in. I'm curious, how did we get into such a? I mean, that's fine. You guys can discuss it, but where did this topic of language and stuff come in? Maybe I could do this. Look for some confirmation. So that's 77. Down there is 59. So that's still like a $20 stop, though. I mean, that's if I'm wrong, but that green is going red. I mean, again, it's $37, so it's not like it's end of the world. But I guess I could come up here because even if it hits, and yes, I'm talking to myself right now. If even it hits right there, that's still pretty much close to being a hammer. So that's 70. That's 60. That's 20. Nope, and it just went down. Never mind. Well, Austin, I hope you didn't play that. You said possibly, so hopefully you didn't take that breakout. Okay. Is this really going to be a new round of bleeding? I mean, it could be. All right, I'm going to do this. 62 down to, okay, so like a 12-point risk. So let's just do this. If it comes up there, I'll buy. My stop is right there. So step one, though, got to see some strength. Let's see if it wants to pop up. If it breaks down below here, I'll have to cancel this because that'll be changing the risk profile on it. Okay, coming back up. If I get filled, like I said, got a small little risk profile, and we'll see if we can get some sort of bounce. Tapping last week, high on ES. Roger that. And now it's pushing down, so canceling that out as my risk profile has changed. All right. Did anybody go short? I mean, I guess. Granted, this is a hindsight trend line, so these are ones that are pretty easy to draw. Hindsight trend lines where you know what happened. But I don't know. Did anybody take that? Hit that like button if you are enjoying. Let's try to get this up to 125 likes. That's a good goal here. 125 likes, we can do that. Let me think here. Yeah, I can go. What is that? We are currently getting we bought some land. I am in Iowa. We bought some acreage here in Iowa. It's got farmland on it, got some woods, and we are currently getting a pole barn built. And we got my wife and I have to go meet up with the builder over there, and that's at 12:45 Eastern. No, excuse me, 12:45 Central Time. But I do everything in the market on Eastern just because that's kind of how it works. So in my mind, the market's open at 9:30 Eastern. So we still got some time, but I'm just trying to figure that out. So yeah, we can go for at least 2 hours. But yeah, hit the like button if you're enjoying. Pole barns rock. Yeah, hopefully. I went short, got a little out of it. Good job, Gary. Lictical is in short. Yeah, I'm scared of short right now. That seems like too much like chasing. GameStop going to 500 is more likely than succeeding at day trading. Oh, the honest take was here yesterday. He gave something and then he just disappeared. So I think we know the honest take is a troll. But no, that is totally not true. Short at 172. Okay, and I don't know if I believe. I'll believe that because that actually makes really good sense to have been short at 172. The breakdown of these lows was that trend lines. All right, I'll believe that. Good job. Good short. Good short. Give credit to that one. I was waiting for that 172 to be some like random area. It's like sure you did, but no, I can see that. That actually makes really good sense. Man. Well, on the bright side, I'm glad I canceled out that long order. That just didn't... If I didn't know Brian, I'd be... The market makers are going to close the Sunday open gap. Trust me. All right, Brian, we're all trusting you. Market bias is sell. Yeah, I mean, it's in a downtrend. In a downtrend for sure. Man, what's the ES up to? We kind of lost track of that one. Oh, yeah, that had a nasty little... Bleh. All right, getting a little bit of a bounce here. So maybe there's something workable from a short side now with a bit of a bounce. JDA, I mean, I agree with some of the things you're saying, but when it comes to GameStop, you are, my friend, you are just drunk on the Kool-Aid. You are just absolutely drunk on the Kool-Aid. Your whole premise rests on... Your premise is resting on all of a sudden BlackBerry phones are going to become popular again, like the same model that it was. That's just not going to happen. Shorts have covered. Shorts are out. GameStop is not even... I don't even know if GameStop's considered a highly shorted stock. It's certainly not like it was. You're hanging around in some weird... Hang out here more. If you want some truth, just hang out here. Because people... I'll tell you. People in the chat will tell you. If you're sipping Kool-Aid, if you're... if you're... In fact, I don't know if I'll admit I'll show it, but check out the back of my shirt. This is perfect. I literally had this shirt made probably like 10 years ago for people like you, JDA. Let's see if I can show it. Can people see? I don't know if you can see it. Don't drink the red stuff. And then we got the Kool-Aid man back there. Kool-Aid man crossed out. Don't drink the red stuff. See that, JDA? That's for you. That's what you're doing. Don't drink the red stuff. Kool-Aid man crossed out, okay? We had that made for you. But you're nothing new. Like I said, the shirt was like... It's like 15... Not 15 years old. Probably about 10 years old, though. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Dude, the chart on GameStop, there's not... Yeah, GameStop's having a good day, but that's how it goes. It has a good day, and then it'll drift back into oblivion. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This is VVPR. Yeah. That's not... What? $500, what are you talking about? Like, look at all this volume. If there was a bunch of shorts in it, is this the best all the shorts can do? Yeah, what about the weekly? What about it? I mean, think about it. It could go crazy, come all the way up here, and this is $65. You're saying $500. It's crazy talk. You're drunk on the Kool-Aid. Terry says short GME. Uh-oh, Terry. Watch out. JD's going to come for you. He's coming for you. Monthly is the best bull flag you've ever seen. Okay, I will grant that to you. But, in fact, let's do an experiment. Let's run this to the T. Do you notice what JD's doing? Wait, what? That's not a bull flag. What are you talking about? Come on, JDA. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, come on, man. Come on. What's your address? I'll send you one of these t-shirts. Don't drink the red stuff, man. Come on. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Yeah, it is. You have no shortage of hopium, that's for sure. Come on, man. Like even if your clan was it's going up to 120, it's like okay, I guess I can see that technically speaking, like because for the monthly chart, fine, fair enough. Your argument would be, hey, I think it can retest the highs from COVID. So okay, that puts it at 120. Fine. I still don't think that's happening, but okay, at least 120. You're making a technical case from a charting standpoint, but you're just saying 500. You're like literally just making numbers up. I mean, why not 600 or 700? Why not 1,000? Where's 500 coming from? I'll probably short this trend line here just because why not? It seems like I think I owe Chad a trade. And it does seem like all this thing does is go down, but usually that's when I'll get stuck. It's like, oh, this thing only goes down, and then I get short, and then it goes up. Anybody ever been there? I think I might be there soon. Yeah, I don't know if JDA understands that concept, Hoover. Like I don't know if he realizes, whoops. It's right at the line. I don't know if he understands the concept that like companies, the GameStop, AMC, they keep selling shares. So they're creating supply. Now the cult members will say shorts. It's the shorts that are selling. It's the shorts that are holding it down. It's like, no, it's literally the company raising money by selling shares that is holding it down. Okay, let's see. Can we get the break of the trend line? Again, I want to see a break of the trend line. And right now it's just bouncing off that trend line. I think it got through. Stop right above the high. So this is either a breakdown, get moving, or I want out. Very simple premise. That's either a true breakdown or I want out. Very short leash on this thing. Either this thing needs to break down and get going, or I wants out. And looking like, we'll see. Not looking so good for me. And, oh, I survived so far. Not feeling so good about it, though, because it did break down, and it's just putzing around. So I will probably get caught in this chop. All right. So out there. Yeah, I was like, should I have gotten in? Did it break? But yeah, if you look closely, it did actually break down below there, so I should have gotten in. That was actually a really good entry point just from simply like getting in as soon as it broke down below. But as everybody saw, no follow through. Hit that like button if you have not yet. If we could get this up to 125, that would be amazing. So if you are enjoying, do you see a resistance line between 1202 to 1220 candles? 1202. The only resistance I'm using up here, I'm not using candles. I personally, I just using that pivot point right there. That has done a pretty good job of forecasting areas of resistance. Uh-oh. Bitcoin diluted. You better watch out, Ivan. Saying stuff like that. If there's any Bitcoin fans here, they're going to be coming for you. Can I swing in futures? You can, but you cannot if you want to do a prop firm. Because prop firms, they make you, they don't want you holding overnight. Because again, they're trying to force you to manage risk. And when you hold things overnight, you lose control of risk management. I might take it again just because, I mean, why not at this point? Let's see if I can, maybe it's this break that'll finally go. Stop a bit too tight. No, no. Like I gave you my premise. My premise was it either needs to break down now or I went out. It did not break down now. So no, based on the premise of what I was looking for, not too tight. JDA, you have to understand, and I'm learning this too with you, JDA, but on a live stream, there are constantly new people coming in. So yes, you will have to answer the same questions over and over again. Do you actually look at the DOM? No. I know some people enjoy it, so that's why I have it on my screen, just for the people that do like to look at it, but I do not. Maybe I should. I don't. Made a really solid trade today this morning. Try not to get discouraged from losses caused. I was back on the starting amount after yesterday. Yeah, well, good job. I know a lot of people lost their accounts today in the prop firm world due to that, opening nasty move down. So if you still have an account, that's great. 5 more likes. Do we have 5 more likes out there? And then we're looking at 125, which is awesome. And we have this little bear pennant here, but I mean, at some point, the market's got to be at the bottom, right? And these movements have got to stop, just continuing to bleed down. I don't know if we're at one of these yet or not. No, people that were trying to catch the falling knife this morning. That action right there. Catching a falling knife, no bueno. Funny thing is, I'll show you what I alerted this morning. So if you're wondering, hey, how does your private community work? I'll turn this into a quick sales pitch. Watch this. Watch this sales pitch. You're going to be amazed. Right here. There was that trend line before that huge break to the downside. There it was right there. Mapped out. Is this the flush point trend line? Mapped out for members. So if they took it, that alert that you saw right there was from right there. Watch this. Watch this for those of you that are in sales. This is going to be an epic sales pitch. So if you'd like to get alerts like that, if you want to come aside, trade with me, other really good traders, then check out this link right here. You can come trade with me. There you go. Check out that amazing sales pitch. I'm such a good salesman. There we go. All right, I'm going to get these lines out of here. Come on, one more like. One more like. Okay, I'm new to futures. I trade Forex, so want to get on futures. That's why I ask. Is it just one chart, or can you move to a higher or lower if you read the number? Yeah, by one chart, I mean different time frames. Yeah, you can. This is the 2-minute, but off screen, I'm like, for example, here I'm looking at the 5-minute. So yeah, I mean, you can look at multiple time frames if you want. But yeah, if you mean chart by like just the thing you trade, yes. I just trade I trade 2 things. Either the MNQ, that's where I would recommend everybody start as a beginner, MNQ, or the NQ. But the NQ is definitely the very volatile one. So that's why I say if you're a beginner, starting on MNQ would be good. And if you want to support the channel, then just move or use the link that's pinned at the top comment. Yeah, this is just getting choppy now. Even this trend line here that I tried to play earlier, proven to not be a very worthwhile trend line. Nice, 125, 126 likes. I like it. Webb, did you sync up your charts with YouTube? Yeah. Yep, I did. So that's why now all of a sudden all these lines are showing up here on my 5-minute without having to draw them. So yeah, thank you for that. where are we? 12. Yeah, okay, and go another. Waiting the big firms to do a quick upward sweep, then oh brother, that's not how. No, there's no up. No, if you think a firm controls how the futures market trades, take off the tinfoil hat. It just moves on supply and demand. It's not like all of a sudden one firm's like, I'm going to do a sweep in the upwards direction. That's not how the markets work. I know, it's like cool to talk about. Like there's some like magical, mystical algorithm and some magical like firms and market makers and all this stuff. No. And my example of that is like I always hear, watch out that they're hunting stops. It's like, yeah. Well, I've been in many trades over my career where my stop is like, let's just say right here. And then the price, and this includes in futures, the price comes like right here. And then eventually goes in my favor. So if I was short, I've like, and if you're honest with yourself, I'm sure we've all been there where we've had those situations where like, whoa, that was so close. So my question is, well, if there's like these stop hunters out there and there's all these things designed to get your stops, how come I survive that? Why didn't I get my stop? My stop was right there. Is it because those things don't exist and it's just the natural flow of the market? That would be my contention. So your P&L says $17. Is it multiplied by 20? No, that's just my P&L. But this is my live stream kind of putts around account. My other account that I was focused on today, right here, you can see a bit bigger numbers. But yeah, again, these numbers you do not multiply by 20. It is what it is. And another thing was, waiting for the big firms to do a quick upward sweep. So this is where confirmation bias comes into play. So I don't even know what an upward sweep is, but I'm assuming it's something like upward sweep, and then it goes down and like, oh, there it was. They did the upward sweep. Yeah, well, what about the times where that happens, but the price just keeps on going? So the upwards firm, so you're saying that the firm just decided not to do that? So you're saying that there is a firm that literally just controls how the market moves all the time. I reject that premise that there's anybody out there with enough power and liquidity to move the markets like that. Do you know how much liquidity would be needed? Do you know how much buying power would be needed for that? And even if you were able to do that, that would require a ton of volume or a ton of size. But then you have to offload that size. So where exactly are you offloading that size at? It's like people like, oh, well, you can move penny stocks. It's like, yeah, that's true. I could show up with $1 million on a penny stock and I could cause that thing to explode upwards. But now I own $1 million worth of this penny stock that I caused to explode upwards. But now, am I stuck? Because now I have to offload all those shares I just bought. But if there's not a whole lot of liquidity, so if I cause $1 million of liquidity, but then there's only $300,000 after me, okay, well I still have $700,000 that I'm stuck with. So the whole idea of all this, of this move and that move, it's like, okay, even if we grant the premise that they have enough money to cause those moves, that would take so much. They would own so many contracts, but now they have to offload them. And they have to try to offload. It's just like, no. There's no sweeps. There's no stop loss hunting. All that is just, it's fun to talk about. And as humans, we love ourselves a good conspiracy theory. But no. The practical side of things is, like I said, would you literally go and move a penny stock with $1 million? I mean, I guess you could, but if you had $1 million, you'd always be thinking, but wait a second, you can always buy a penny stock. Somebody is always going to be willing to sell you the penny stock, even if it's just the company diluting shares. But in order for you to make money, you now have to be able to sell those shares you just bought. So is there going to be any exit liquidity? You're missing out on the low of day, Clay. I am missing out on that. Whoops. Honestly, though, I don't know if I would have taken that. I think I'm pretty much done anyways because like I said, I got to go meet the pole barn builder. So, on that note, if you are interested in Yeah, Evil Shadow. I can't get started on that. But I am offering a webinar this Thursday, tomorrow. So if you want to learn more about the tools I'm using, how I build consistency, manage risk, all that, I'll throw a link in the chat room by all means. And also, I'm training on a new computer that I was a big skeptic of paying somebody else to build a computer, but these people did buy or build a computer for me, and I've changed my mind quite a bit. But even if you don't want to check out that guide, very, very helpful guide. A lot of good stuff going on, and I'm not being paid to tell you about this or anything like that. So there's no compensation for me. But like I said, this company has built this computer that I'm now on. It's awesome. And they were like, hey, well, at least can you show people this guide? So I read through the guide. I'm like, oh, that's actually a really good guide, especially if you're someone like me that doesn't understand a whole lot of computers. So yeah, check that out. And if you're, in the market or thinking about needing a new computer or what have you. So, but that is how who are you, thinker? Who are you in the chat room? So you're clearly from the community, but I don't know who you are in the actual inner circle community. But again, can we get 2 more likes? Can we get this up to 130? Do we have 2 more likes out there? That would be great. I'll sleep like a baby tonight. I'll sleep like JDA as I dream about GME going up to 500. But all right, well, I do have to get going. So everybody take care. Appreciate your time. And yeah, like I said, we hit a new record today of concurrent viewers. I think we got up to 140 something, which is exciting. But everybody take care. Have a good one, and I'll see you back tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. Eastern.